we're Chips and Salsa.
In this video, we're going to be reviewing college-ready math. Check it out.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, we want to introduce ourselves. I'm Ximena.
I'm DeeDee.
And we are two homeschool moms bringing you some fun, practical, and encouraging tips.
We want you to be part of our community. Subscribe to this channel and follow us on social media at Chips and Salsa Ladies.
All right, so today we are reviewing a college-ready math program. It's an online program, and our kids are in high school. The program is designed for 8th or 9th graders who are maybe struggling with algebra and want to get ready. It's kind of that weird transition between middle school and high school. And a lot of homeschool parents don't feel confident enough in that transition. Not this one. She's really good at it. I'm not great, so.
Well, my kids have needed a lot of tutoring once they got into algebra. So a supplemental program is still really nice.
So in full disclosure, they did give us free access to their complete course in exchange for this honest review.
The algebra course, once you get into the course, it's broke down into 9 sections, which covers a little piece of an algebra year or an algebra course. And so I think that's really nice because you can clearly see which each topic is. And when you go into one of the sections, so the first section is algebraic foundations. And within that course, they're going to talk about equalities, inequalities, equations, like terms, things like that. Once you start a section, it begins with an assessment. And in order to pass that section, you have to get 80% or better. If you don't pass, then once you get into the course, it clearly shows you with a little highlighted, what is it?
It's like a little exclamation mark.
That shows you, okay, this is one of the areas you missed a question on. So the assessment really covers well all of the different topics within that section. And if you see a highlighted spot, you click on that and it will give you a video lesson, which are pretty short. They're like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're 5 minutes, really short and sweet.
And then a study guide, which is kind of the printed material of that lesson, and then a practice quiz. And that's really good because the practice quiz gives you instant feedback. So you know, oh, okay, I didn't quite get that. You can go back and look at the video lesson again and take the quiz again. So you can keep taking the quiz until you pass it.
Yeah, I like that they can have that study guide and download it and print it and just have it so that they can always revisit if they need to. So that's always a plus. I also like that even if they did pass the first section, they can still see where they missed, and just, you know, maybe they're like, oh, you know what, I actually don't remember how to do that. I can go and take the course real quick and just make sure that it's solid.
Yeah, what I liked was, I was wondering, okay, if you pass something but you're not sure why you passed it, or you weren't sure about that concept but you still got the answer right on the assessment, you can still go back and look at how to do that particular thing, because once you get through the assessment, the whole section is open to you. So you can click on each of the individual lessons and take the practice quiz, or you know, look at the video. You don't have to take the practice quiz if you pass that one, but you can still look at the video and kind of learn. And then there's a post assessment where you can see if you actually learned it and passed. And once you pass it, then you know you can move on to, you know, the next course.
Yeah, and that's great because you don't even have to go through the whole course in order to pass that section.
Yeah, which is great because, like we said, it's a supplement, so they really want to help basically tutor or shore up those spots that your student might be struggling with.
Yeah, fill in all the holes, which as homeschool parents, we're always scared of those holes, right? We're always like, oh my gosh, did they understand everything? And really, I love the title, College Ready Math, because it really is to set them up for success. When they take that placement test, getting ready for college, the last thing you want is for them to have to go back and take all these algebra lessons that they should have already taken in high school.
Yeah, well, it's gonna cost you more money. and more time and frustration. I feel like that's a huge hurdle, especially
Yeah.
for a non-science, non-math major who just wants to
Yeah.
get over their, you know,
Yeah.
their
General ed.
their general ed classes and, you know, get into the good stuff.
Yeah. So that's an overview of the course program. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The outlook is nice and clean, and I think that's really important, especially for kids that struggle with focus.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it kind of reminded you of Google Classrooms.
Yeah, so in Google Classroom, each of the courses is set up like a little box. So once you get into the algebra course, each section is a box, and there's 9 sections, so there's 9 boxes, and that's how they know. So once you get complete one, like that means you pass the post-assessment, or I guess even the first assessment, it will say complete on there. So then it's clearly, you know, shows you what other sections you have to go. So navigating it is pretty easy.
Straightforward. All right, so we're gonna go through a list of just pros and cons, what we liked about it, and kind of a wish list that we have. It is a fairly new program, and so I think feedback is great. Okay, well, the first thing I liked about it, and I know my daughter did too, is that the lessons, we already mentioned, they're short, they're in bite-sized pieces, which some people just learn better that way.
Yeah.
And they're engaging. Like they're animated, they're really nicely narrated, and I like that when they kind of give you an example, you can pause and try it out, and then they'll give you the answer as they're explaining their example.
I really like that the student can jump around. So you didn't have, after the assessment and you're in the course, you can jump around anywhere you want. And I like that there's also a glossary button. So all the vocabulary that's in that section is easily accessible. So if something came up on the assessment or in a lecture that you weren't sure about or you wanted to remember without going back to the lecture, you could just hit the glossary button.
Another thing we like is that the practice quizzes give instant feedback, and we know from experience that instant feedback is really important. So immediately your child will know if they got it wrong or if they got it right, and why they got it wrong or right.
Yeah, and I like that the practice quizzes don't penalize.
Yeah.
So you can go back and take it, even if you failed it miserably. It won't show anywhere. It will just let you take it over and over again.
Yeah, that's really important when it comes to them feeling frustrated at not understanding a concept.
Yeah.
You're just like teaching them it's okay, you're learning, just keep going.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I like that you can go back and look at the first assessment as well. So you can go back on the first assessment and see which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong. It's not like closed off.
Right. Well, another thing that I really liked is actually just the title of the course, College Ready Math. You know, my 10th grader has always struggled with math, and it's never encouraging to be told, oh, you have math tutoring to go to, or, you know, you need this extra course. But the College Ready Math gives her that little confidence of, oh, I'm just getting ready for college, you know, instead of like, oh, I'm falling behind, and that is so important to keep our students motivated and to not, you know, make them feel like they need all this extra work because they're not getting a concept, but rather just, hey, we're just strengthening up your skills so that you're ready for what you need in the future.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, and it is really reassuring when you feel like, okay, if I can understand what's on this course, I've got it. Like there's no other material that's going to surprise me. It's all here.
Exactly, yeah. So even after they're done with all their math courses and curriculum in high school, they can take this course to just brush up before they take that placement test in college.
I also like that they shoot emails regularly. Oh, they finished this, or they still have these sections to complete, you know, so you're kind of on top of whether or not they're completing the course.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, there are graphs, and there's like a section when you go to My Account where you can actually see how long you've spent on the course and what you still need to complete. And there's badges and things like that, certificates that you get. I think a certificate of completion that you get. Badges I think are always fun because it just kind of keeps you going. So I think that's good. Moving on to our wish list, just right off of that point, I wish there was some sort of like parent portal where, you know, I don't have to log in as my daughter, but where I can see kind of like supervising the course, you know, where she has her own login, I have my own login, and I can see how she's progressing.
Yeah, and to that point, I think it's a fairly small company, so they only really have the algebra, and then they have 2 placement exam courses, which look pretty good, but there's I wish, and hopefully they'll have in the future, other courses like geometry or trigonometry as well.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
And then I have 4 students. So to have some kind of large family discount, and pretty much the way the program works, that one student is assigned that course. And then once you take that assessment, you're in the course and you can't retake that first assessment. So really can't use it for subsequent students.
Right. So it would be cool like if you had like an umbrella account under you and then your 4 students, you know, at a discounted price would be cool. Well, it was really great to try this program out. I'm definitely going to keep using it with my daughter until the end of this school year, because I feel like it would really reinforce and give her confidence in her algebraic skills. And so we definitely recommend you to try it out, especially if you have a struggling math student or if you want to get them ready for college.
Yes, and if you click the link down below, you'll get a 15% discount.
Yes, and let us know in the comments if you have a child that struggles with math and if you think that this program would help your student.
Please share this video with your friends. Give us a thumbs up. We can't wait to hear from you.
All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.